Hello. Hello. This is a test live event. And the purpose of this event is for testing out whether my student at U3A is able to go online and then use this as our instruction media if and when the situation needs that. So I'm still waiting for them, and the time is from 5 to 5:15. So if any one of you who is in my class in Lunar Wedding for both history and China today, please type in something in the live chat. Let me know you are online. Otherwise, I will just keep on talking. And then 15 minutes later, I will switch back to Cantonese for my audience in Hong Kong and elsewhere. Hello, Albert. I saw Jane Ho coming in. Thank you. So anyone who is interested, let me know that you are online. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So can you hear me? Okay. Any problem hearing me? Good. Thank you. Thank you. So this will be the medium I'm going to use for. Good. Thank you. You can hear me. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you. So this testing will last about 50 minutes. After that, I think I will talk about something else in Cantonese for my Chinese audience, and probably I don't know what you want me to talk about. Anyone give some suggestion? Please send in the live chat. Then we will see whether we can talk about the topic you are interested. Thank you for my English audience. Thank you very much. Yes, I have put up a video about the square cabin hospitals that was instituted in Wuhan since 2nd of February, and all these square B hospitals is now closed or put on standby because all the patients are now left. The total number of beds provided by the square cabin hospital is about 13,000, and they treated about 12,000 patients. Very clear. Good. Thank you. Okay, and therefore I have put up a video in my English channel. So you search my name and put in English channel, then you will find a video on the square cabin hospital. But I will talk about that next Tuesday in class, in the China Today class. And for the big history class next Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the cosmetic background, the microwave radiation background. So we will talk about how do we know that the universe was created the way we described in class. Yes, search Albert Yip English channel. Thank you. Probably I should put up my channel here so that people can find it easier. Let me just go over here, and I'm going to search for my own channel, and then we'll try to give you my channel ID, I suppose. Yeah, Albert Yip English channel. Yeah. So going into that. On 21st December, sorry, that's the voice for my other English channel. So this is my English channel. Anyone interested can go there and have a look. Loud and clear in Hong Kong. Good, very good. Thank you. Yes, I was on David Sher's channel earlier today, and at noon Hong Kong time until 1 a.m. We talk about quite a number of different things. One of the thing I talk about during that session is on about whether this coronavirus is actually good or bad. Of course, any disease is no good, but even in this very bad situation, is there anything we can learn from it? I think one of the lessons we can learn is actually this square cabin hospital, a very efficient way to deal with a large number of patients in a relatively short time with lower cost. That's a very good idea. I will try to talk about that in class in China Today next Tuesday. Yes, they got created posts. I'm not so sure about the Chinese U.S. government created SARS, and viruses do occur naturally. So I rather believe it is natural rather than some conspiracy. But that's only my feeling. We what we want to do is actually look at the real reality rather than just imaginations. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, thank you for all those Hong Kong people bearing with all my this English rumbling. I think you stay here. That obviously you understand what I'm talking about. So that's great. Yeah, for UVA, we also know that about July, UVA Lunar Wedding is going to move to a new campus. Because I wasn't involved last year because of my illness, so I don't know what to expect there. Probably if they open up any sessions to let us know how that will operate, that will be great. And for all the other friends from Australia here, I also have courses at UVA Hawthorne as well as UVA 15. For Hawthorne next term, I finished the sessions on this term now. So you can look forward to the second term. In the second term in Hawthorne, I will talk about the political environment of China, and after this development in the past 40 years, the old model in which China supply a low-cost labor force no longer works, as China getting a little bit richer. So people is expecting a bit higher salary. So many of the low skill level production has now shifted outside of China, for example, into Bangladesh or Vietnam and so forth. So China has to change. So we will be looking at what change China is implementing in order to cater for all these changes in its environment. So that will be in second term in Hawthorne. As for Deep Din, second term, I will be talking about the ecological situation in China. The first session, I believe, is on the cleaning of the Yellow River. The Yellow River no longer is yellow; is now fresh water. Of course, the reason is they had done a lot of work in the Laos Plateau area. Laos Plateau consists of this Lao as their geography. The material, the land is consists of Laos. Laos is a very loose material. So when there's no ground cover, and when rains come, all the soil is washed down to the river and making the river yellow. And that, of course, also changes the riverbed, as all these settlements deposit on the riverbed. So the bank brooks, and so Yellow River has been called the river of sorrow for the Chinese. So we were looking at that in second term in UVA 15. So anyone interested, go to their respective website, and then you can enroll yourself into it. Yeah, of course, I will make Chinese versions of all the things for example, I have already produced 2 Chinese versions of the Big History, the first 2 lectures in Cantonese. I think I will be producing the third one later this week, and then we'll upload it once I have done. And for the English versions, I think I am now up to, I think it's still 2, but anyway, I will keep on doing it. Does it change the landscape? Yes, of course. It's by changing the landscape. It's by greening the whole Laos Plateau. It is a big effort. Can you imagine it? Now, Chinese civilization originated in the Yellow River around the Laos Plateau. So Laos Plateau has been one of those birthplace of Chinese civilization, so to speak. So it must be very fertile. And in fact, yes, Laos is a very fertile soil. But with overgrazing, overuse of the land, then it becomes barren. When it's barren, then rains fall down, and then the rains wash the Laos soil into the river, making the river yellow. And that's the reason why it is yellow. Yellow River erupts its banks due to several reasons. First of all, is of course these sediments from the Laos soil. The other thing is the Yellow River, as well as the Yangtze River in China, originates in the plateau region next to the Himalaya, and they are basically melted snow. So Chinese River comes from the melting of the snow in the Himalayas. As the weather becomes warmer and warmer, the ice melts, but some big lump of ice may form an ice bank, blocking the water from behind to flow down. So once this bank is suddenly melts, a large volume of water is rushed down, and that's where problems happens. So one way to avoid that is to make sure that there's no ice bank during the spring. So the Chinese government has been using cannons, sand cannons blow up the ice bank so that the water can flow. Okay, very good. It seems that I'm able to go out live. And for all my Australian friends here, I'm going to say goodbye to you because I'm going to switch over to Cantonese to answer some questions from whoever. But anyway, I still haven't seen any questions coming in. Want me to talk about? Anyone have any suggestion what we want to talk about? Okay, I'm going to switch over to Cantonese now. So anyone interested to continue, please stay behind. But for my English friends, English-speaking friends, my Australian friends, goodbye. And then 嗰邊我轉翻用廣東話好唔好？咁啊，大家如果有問題嘅話咧，可以打上網咁啊問下我，我睇下識唔識答，同大家傾下偈。呢個係我第一次做直播，咁啊好多謝咁多朋友喺度上緊網同我打緊氣，多謝，非常多謝。咁啊，我幾次同阿 David Sir 上網，我都係用緊個 WhatsApp 啫啊，你哋見唔到我樣嘅，得把聲。咁而家咧，終於咧可以聽到我聲，見到我樣。其實咧，理論上我應該係早啲飯嘅，因為我嗰時我自己讀書嗰陣時咧，我係讀電腦教育嘅，但係實在太耐冇用，所以我就落後晒，而家要追翻上去。咁所以咧就希望有啲朋友可以教下我點樣用 OBS。 咁啊，最主要就係因為我遲啲如果真係要講嘢嘅話咧，我需要有啲廣告嘅。如果由得我亂噏嘅話咧，我會唔知車到去邊嘅。所以我通常要做一個 PowerPoint 之類嘅嘢。咁以前我教書都係嘅，自己心中有個備咗火，有個廣告喺度喺個心度，咁所以就會可以講。一俾我扯開咗嘅話咧，我就去遊浮游都唔知去邊。澳洲嘅疫情嚴唔嚴重啊？而家咧，我哋呢度咧總共咧過咗100啦，已經超過100人咧係感染咗。喺上面嗰度New South Wales 嗰邊咧就多啲，60幾個啦已經。咁我哋維省呢度好啲啊，咪10零個。咁啊希望咧，當然啦，唔希望係到處傳啦。但係我就唔係好樂觀，因為到底呢度啲人咧唔戴口罩，而家都仍然冇人戴口罩喺街度。咁當然除咗唐人之外啦，我哋啲中國人怕死，出街會戴口罩，但係啲鬼佬完全唔戴口罩。咁啊好在呢度咧就暫時都未有咩歧視嘅，即係唔會話太過反應厲害。但係我睇到啲朋友留低嘅留言嘅話咧，喺有啲地方外國咧，如果你戴口罩出街，會被警察捉住嚟罰嘅。咁所以咧呢個冇啊，佢哋國情係咁啊，所以我成日都講嘅就係每一個國家有自己做嘢嘅方法，唔可以一支竹篙打晒一船人。所以唔同國家有唔同嘅做法，咁啊就我哋見過例子啦。嗱，譬如當中國輸入共產黨時咪唔掂咯。而家呢個唔係共產黨嚟嘅，呢個而家雖然管嗰個叫共產黨啊，但係嗰個唔係真係共產黨。而家呢個係社會主義啊，佢大家都聽過佢話有中國特色嘅社會主義，唔係共產主義啦已經。我哋係輸入啲嘢唔得㗎，我哋喺度靠自己發展自己嘢。呢個我諗應該大家都明啊。阿金嘅湯漢斯，我唔知啊，我唔識佢啊。Thomas 啊，Tom Hanks 喺呢度 infected in Australia。哦，冇啊，咁呢度啲人自己唔保護自己冇辦法㗎，而我哋都啱啊！呢個朋友講得啱啊。China has not been communism for nearly 40 years。自從改革開放之後，中國已經走緊一個社會主義。其實中國所謂有中國特色嘅社會主義，我覺得佢應該用翻我哋中國人個名，大同世界，天下大同。呢個更加符合我哋嘅國情，啱唔啱？唔好叫佢做社會主義，我哋叫佢大同世界。講翻我哋老夫子嗰套嘢出嚟。老唔老以及人之老，幼唔幼以及人之幼等等啊！呢啲明我哋嘅心中嘅烏托邦就係大同世界，就唔係佢哋鬼佬嗰啲烏托邦。我哋唔同嘅，因為我諗國情問題，另外就係我哋自己本身嗰個性格都唔相同。如果真係要問我哋即係我哋中國人嘅性格點嚟嘅，有幾個好重要嘅因素。一個因素就係我哋喺秦朝已經開始有個科舉制度，使到中國人一向咧都好注重讀書，讀書人係一個脫離貧窮一個好辦法。咁所以咧就要，因為要讀書，因此咧我哋咧就嗰個，所以就算冇讀書都好啊，對啲讀書人尊重。所以有一定嘅穩定作用對中國嚟講。當然啦，今日嘅佢叫 CCP 啦，咁樣咩名都冇咗，最緊要佢做嘅嘢可以為人民服務，係咪？咁為到人民服務咪正咯。我覺得最終都係咁樣樣。我都係香港人嚟㗎，所以唔使多謝我。我為香港發聲，我自己都本身係香港人，而且我亦都唔係。Yes, this is supposed to be a trial for the UVA, but I said that the time is 5 to quarter to 5. So after quarter to 5, I switch back to Cantonese to speak to my audience in Hong Kong. But no, I haven't forgotten you. Yes. So once you can hear me talking, that's fine. Then my next test will be trying to play the PowerPoint, or I use the Macintosh. So I use Keynotes to play the Keynotes while I'm talking. So in that case, I will be only see my talking head plus the slide. So that will be something I will try to sort out for tomorrow. So for tomorrow test, which is also at 5 p.m. Australian time, I will try to do some display other than looking at my talking head. So that will be a little bit think more, but I think I can manage that. But anyway, switching back to Cantonese. 轉嚟轉去，希望大家唔好介意。咁我就睇下先，佢話咩啊？I'm not saying CCP is perfect, but it's fact that CCP makes China the best and the most powerful ever in Chinese history. I don't think so. I think China might have been even more powerful in Tang Dynasty or Song Dynasty. So, but we don't see ourselves as being powerful as one of the essential elements of a good government. Actually, I would argue that a good government is a government which works for its own people, not for a handful of individuals within the country. Or if it works for other countries, even worse. Okay, so colonization means you don't have a country and you are being colonized. You are not working for your own people. But once you becomes independent as a country itself, the government should be looking forward to help the people, not any foreign force. And I don't agree with projecting a force outside of your border. Helping your own people doesn't need to project any military force beyond your border. Of course, we know that if you don't have military power, it is very easy to attract attacks from outside. So a certain level of military power is necessary to protect yourself, but I don't see projecting power is an important issue of a government. But again, this is only my point. Cantonese is the original Chinese spoken language. No, may not be. Over the different dynasty, I believe there will be different so-called national dialects for that dynasty. Basically, different dynasty originate from rebellion forces from different areas. So they will have a different dialect. Therefore, I don't think Cantonese is, but Cantonese is a very old language. That's true. And if you use the poems from the Tang Dynasty, it's much better in Cantonese than in Mandarin. So, yeah, it is. Mandarin is not. It's not native in a way. Yes, partly, but not exactly native. Native Chinese may be Hakka. I will believe Hakka is one of the official language sometimes in the past. Why I say that? Basically, now if you look at the Hakka enclaves in different parts of China, the Hakka people cannot speak to the local people because they are different dialects. But different enclaves of Hakka people can speak to each other very easily. That means these Hakka people, when they go to that place to start living there, they bring their dialect and language all there. And looking at all this enclave and looking at the history of the Hakka people, you will notice that they originate from the northern part from the political center of the then China dynasty or empire. And therefore, they are at that time influential people being persecuted by the government because of something else, or trying to escape some kind of disasters, either man-made or natural, and therefore they bring with them the language. So I rather believe Hakka is once a official language rather than Cantonese. But that's only my point. can hear your wife as well. This is a small house. Yeah, Cantonese people is one of the original Chinese people. So a lot of Cantonese people is in the southern part of China. So we are part of the original Chinese. But just have to remind ourselves is that when we say we are Han, Han is such a large ethnic group, which is not possible. And naturally, in China, I think it's about 87%, something, at least 80% or about are Han. How can that be? How can 1.3 billion people, 80%, 90%, 1.3 billion people are Han? It's too large. Yes, we really need to make sure our government doesn't work for 1%. We need to make sure our government works for most of the people. But as I talk about in David Cher's sessions this afternoon, the problem with any policy is that it has winners and losers. In a democratic system, the losers have such a large voice that hinder the development of the country. I'm not saying that we shouldn't listen to the loser in a certain policy, but what I'm arguing is that when a policy is made in good faith for the good of the people, sometimes some sacrifice is necessary, and a good government will minimize the sacrifice so that people negatively affected is compensated in certain ways. I think the compensation is a very important issue we should look at sometime in the future about political environment. Every policy, no matter how good it is always losers and winners. The question is the winners more than the losers, and is there any compensation for the losers in order to make their life not that bad in a policy? Yes，有位朋友話我係退休警察啊，過去就為英國受英國教育，我都係，大家都知我喺英國讀書啊，唔係喺英國讀書，喺香港讀書然之後我就係喺香港大學畢業，咁所以我都係受英式教育、移民教育。退休警察其實我哋香港大部分人有個中國性，咁即係話你係中國人咯。有乜可能仇視自己嘅母親國家呢？呢個係一個非常之不可思議嘅嘢嚟嘅，我同意。哇！4萬人受到隔離，呢樣嘢就係要大家真係要學乖係嘛？即係你唔好隱瞞你自己一個人受隔離，咁就唔會影響到。但係而家你因為你自己唔肯報，咁惹到人都係咁受到隔離。呢個我諗呢樣嘢就我哋大家要即係有時咧就問心自己做嘢嘅時候係咪自己私利咁緊要？咁其中我今日啱上咗條片啊，講施永青，佢話比較中國嘅策略同埋英國策略，唔係同埋美國嘅策略。咁我覺得唔可以純粹用經濟睇嘅呢啲嘢，人命好重要㗎。如果你嗰個策略係放棄唔理，等啲人惹到先再理，你唔係一定救得翻㗎。雖然話死嗰啲多數都係啲有其他疾病、年紀老，但係啲人未想死㗎嘛，啱唔啱？我夠有其他病咯，我都仍然未想死，我覺得自己仲有好多年可以過下嘅，起碼世界咁大，有啲地方我未去過，都想去睇下㗎嘛。 所以我唔覺得即係採取一個咁嘅放任政策，有一個疫情喺個自己個國家入邊嘅流轉係一個政策，呢個根本唔應該係個政策，呢個直情係一個完全錯誤嘅嘢嚟嘅。作為一個領導人，你最基本你嗰個道德標準要守得住先得㗎。而家就係有人就係守唔住呢個呢個使我對政治入邊我最反感一樣嘢就係呢樣嘢，就係作為一個領導人，我哋明白領導人唔可能乜都識，因為而家嘅世界任何嘢都要靠專家，你唔係乜都識。但係領導人有一樣嘢可以做嘅，就係守住個道德水平，知道有咩應做，咩嘢唔應該做，呢樣嘢先最緊要。唔係叫個領導人乜都做晒，今日都唔可能嚇。佢領導人一個國家領導人邊度可以做晒所有嘅嘢啫？但個領導人佢有一個重要嘅職責，就係守住國家嘅基本底線，唔好俾個國家墮落。聽證咁，然之後有人死於流感嘅。其實而家美國有幾多人傳染緊，冇人知㗎。而家佢哋嗰個試測劑唔係咁多，亦都唔肯大量放出去，所以根本就唔知。而家呢個同我擔心印度一樣，印度可能亦都係而家傳得好緊要，但係冇人知，因為佢冇乜試測，唔報就冇，係咪啊？唔係咁樣，唔可以咁樣做啊！人命嚟㗎嘛，我哋講緊嗰啲，所以唔應該咁做。冇啊，呢個係人人個標準唔同，但係有啲標準我覺得我哋作為一個有思想嘅人，一定要守住嘅就係我哋個道德底線唔可以失。所以點解我會咁反對啲黑衣暴徒？其中一樣就係個道德底線我過唔到，我冇辦法可以原諒佢哋做啲咁嘅嘢，破壞香港嗰啲人啦、打人啦，好似咁走去燒人哋啊！呢個冇可能嘅事咧，根本你用咩角度都冇可能咁樣對待一個活生生嘅人。但係 NBA 已經暫停咩嗰個佢哋嘅打波，梗要停啦！咁嘅情況之下，仲唔停咩？啱，武漢封城，武漢啲市民犧牲好大，但係救翻好多中國人，係咪？我好同意，佢哋嘅犧牲係好值得，犧牲冇得出去出邊，咁樣救翻中國好多好多條命，因為唔使傳到中國係，其實亦都對中國嚟講，對世界嚟講做咗件好事，冇傳出去，咁終於都傳咗出去，咁你就真，但係你睇下佢哋個而家爆發期同埋中國爆發期，啱啱差唔多，中國而家完啦，佢哋先開始爆發。其實咪即係等於幫佢哋買咗好多時間咯。所以我今日喺 David 上嗰度講到，亦係中國已經犧牲自己，俾你哋有時間去準備，都搞成咁，其實係咪應該好失望？啱，全世界欠武漢一句感激，應該非常感激武漢啲人民，為全世界人唔知救翻幾多條命，真係唔知救翻幾多條命。但係雖然做咗好事，但係好可惜啊！嗰啲政府反應唔切，太慢，或者根本冇反應，翹埋手。我話你政府翹埋手，唔好咪話啫。啱，廣東話同Mandarin 啦，同而家叫做國語啦係一票之差輸咗，所以唔可以成為國家語言。但係可能有好處㗎，因為廣東話難好多，起碼對於啲鬼佬嚟講，我廣東話難，因為佢嘅音多、變調多，所以就難好多。相對嚟講國語簡單啲，但係冇用啊！我唔識講國語㗎，我啲國語好渣。係啊，我直播啦而家。不過嗱，而家暫時唔係定期啊，我暫時唔可以定期直播，我會睇我自己時間。而今次咧，你大家睇到嗰個標題啦，係試嘅啫咁所以咧就不過 見到咁多朋友上咗網，咁咪順便同大家講幾句嘢咯。係啊，差啲差啲就係國語係廣東話啱。如果對文化嚟講，對保存我哋嗰個嘅中華文化嚟講，其實如果選咗廣東話，可能係更加可以保存到你個文化，真係嘅。因為到底呢個語言係我哋自己本身嘅中國自己生產嘅語言啊，雖然係淨係南方用，另外就係佢亦都流通咗好耐。譬如係我相信咧喺唐朝嘅時候咧，啊、就算唐朝有第二個所謂國家語言、國家方言咧，嗰個廣東話都會係流傳緊嘅，所以先會有啲咩語音韻律啊咁之類啲輸出嚟嗰啲，就係對啲鬼佬嚟講就會唔會有烽煙啊？唔會住啦，一步步嚟啦，等我學識咗，我搞掂搞掂出我啲嘢先，我而家自己嘢未出，我點可以俾人入嘢入嚟？不過遲早會一步步嚟啊，俾時間我學啊，好冇？誒係。大部分嘅朋友都係自覺隔離，呢個係我覺得呢樣嘢係中國人民一個強項嚟嘅。呢個真係中國人民強，即係中國人係肯犧牲小我完成大我。呢個係喺小我大我呢個咁概念啦。我發覺喺西方冇乜有呢個概念，淨係得我哋中國人係好成日強調犧牲小我完成大我。咁我哋譬如有一句覆巢之下冇完卵咁，呢啲咪一樣係呢樣嘢咯。係。啊，普通話大約300年到啦，啊，廣東話我諗上千年啩，不過大家唔好介意呢個，我哋講緊事實，大家唔會介意啫。而且上我頻道啲朋友全部都係好有智慧嘅，唔會為呢啲嘢而拗。我都開始慢慢感覺到我頻道啲朋友真係好高智慧。我都希望我可以廣東話同埋普通話都得，咁就我去到國內頭嗰一個禮拜到我就會好鬧教，咁但係過得個零禮拜之後，我就會唔知點樣可以搞得掂。咁我上次去西安時都係我去咗大約一個零禮拜到，去到臨走前，我發覺我可以同人哋講得到嘢。最少2300年啊！咁呢個我唔知啊。如果有啲咁嘅證據話俾我知就請留言，等我可以上網抄抄。應該唔係，但係你話我而家網慢緊，我唔知啊。呢度啲網好神經㗎，我已經係俾到最多錢用最好㗎啦，已經。我而家係90蚊澳幣一個月，係我哋嗰隻叫做 NBN 100，去到100 Mbps，哇！所以冇啦，冇得再快，如果要再快就要拉條光纖入嚟，呢個又唔係呢樣嘢啦。我唔知啊，呢個係普通家庭可以去到最快嘅速度。講開呢樣嘢，我都可以呻下同大家。我以前咧做網上教學嘅，我軟件而家仲有係用緊。而家軟件唔翻我屋企啦，而家放喺美國某個 server 上面行緊。嗰時我為咗呢度嘅速度真係嘔血㗎。仲有咧就係我哋呢度熱天嗰時竟然會停電，你可唔可以想像到一個叫先進國家天熱嗰時電力供應唔夠會停電？一停電咧我就叫救命啦，因為我啲客來自全世界㗎嘛，但嗰時冇辦法。咁買咗個叫做 UPS 嘅嘢，即係 uninterruptible power supply。但係無論如何，嗰嚿嘢只係支持一段短時間，長啲唔得。咁結果我而家我喺車房都有，我仲喺度有個 generator， 有個發電機喺度。而家唔使用啦，但係我係有個發電機喺車房，有需要時可以撻着佢，倒啲電油落去咁發電機。不過好耐冇行啦，唔知佢仲行唔行得。好啦，咁 今日嘅事我諗都到呢度好嘛？雖然好多朋友仲想同大家講，但係到呢度先啦，我就要去煮飯啦，要去洗碗。今晚應該老婆煮，不過要洗碗，所以就同呢度同大家講聲拜拜先啦。咁我哋聽日5點鐘澳洲時間，我會同我啲鬼佬學生又再試一次。咁聽日我會試咧，就係會試埋放一啲其他嘢上嚟，睇下可唔可以做到。香港百幾蚊都有1000 Mbps，冇啊，冇得比，你唔可以同香港比，我都好恨嘅香港咁樣速度啊。嗱，我有嘅，多謝，拜拜。